You may be thinking this sounds too good to be true. Hey, it's Chris Coffin. Welcome back. I'm super excited that you're going to be a part of the workshop. I just want to give you a little backdrop of who I am, where I've been, and where I am today, and some of the value that you're going to receive on the workshop. So I started my career in the technology industry, and I was with a few different companies, and kind of in a startup role. I was in sales and sales management, and in every single company, I kind of went from being a sales guy to a sales manager to a regional manager, and had quite a bit of success. Spent quite a bit of time with startup companies and trying to understand the things we could do to position ourselves against much larger companies that had a lot more resources and money and were entrenched in markets and in companies that we were trying to sell our software, hardware, services into those companies. And so I work with some very large companies like Pennzoil and Shell and Texas Instruments and Alcatel and MCI and Sprint and on and on and on. So a lot of very large companies, and the technology in every single case we were implementing was displacing another company. So it was never an easy sale, and it was always super important to make sure you were understanding who your competition was, what the value add was of your company, your technology, and what the business results were going to be for the company. So, when I got kind of fast forward to 2009, I'll just say that a few years earlier, my wife and I had gone through some different challenges. We had a home here in Crested Butte, Colorado as a second home, and we made a decision to move here full time. I decided at that point to get my real estate license, and we had bought and sold some properties with Coldwell Banker here in this market. And so I managed to set up an appointment and a meeting with the managing broker at the time, Dan McElroy with Coldwell Banker Bighorn Realty. Dan said to me before we sat down, "I'm not sure why you're here, but I just want you to know I don't hire anybody who doesn't have the real estate license, hasn't had a license for over 2 years, and because I don't have any training and systems, and that's just not." And then he looked at his watch, and I said, "Can I have 30 minutes? He said, "Okay." At the end of the 30 minutes, he said, "All right, you're hired, you can be an agent here, but you have to get your real estate license, and I have no training for you." So it was basically starting from scratch. At the height of the recession, you might remember 2009 was not a great time in the real estate world. In fact, here in this market, by 2011 and 12, 43% of our transactions were either short sales or foreclosures. So there's lots of people, if you've been in the business for a while, you remember there was a lot of people coming to the closing table with money or tears. And so that was my beginning. And I started doing all of I was researching, I was reading books and going to seminars and doing all the things I could do to figure out what I needed to do to be a real estate agent. In fact, when I walked into the office June 19th in 2009, they said, "There's a cubicle, there's a phone line and an internet connection, good luck." That was it. And so I was, really starting from scratch. And now today, I've been the top agent in this brokerage for many, many years. I've been among the top 1% of all Coldwell Banker agents for over 10 years. I've been very thankful and in a lot of ways very humble, but I focus on things that work. Now, believe me, I've done a ton of things that have not worked and failed. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on systems, advertising, Facebook and Google ads, and it didn't work in my market. In fact, I've hired 3 different digital marketing agencies, and I've given them a runway of 6 months. So all the success that I've had has come from the marketing systems that I've put in place and organic lead generation, okay? I leverage technology, I leverage systems, and I do things that help attract the dream clients that I want to work with in my market, right? And so the definition of a dream client, if you think about marketing principles, right? Because I was a marketing major at Ohio State. I went to the Ohio State University and moved to Texas and then moved to Colorado. But the core concept in marketing is always understanding who you want to do business with, who your target demographic is, who your avatar is, and then understanding where they are, what's their geographic region. I spent a ton of time with a software company called MapInfo, where it was like an on-the-job MBA program. We were literally focusing on these same exact marketing principles because that was the result that they were trying to get, leveraging our software technology to reach their customers in specific geographic areas, but understanding their core demographic avatar, their target demographic, who they want to do business with, and then there was a number of different disciplines of why that made sense. But the other thing is, what is important to your dream client? What are the questions that are going through their mind, and how are you showing up either online or offline to answer those questions, right? And so those are some of the things that we're going to focus on and I in the workshop. And I got to a point where I got very frustrated because the things that the talking heads in the industry were telling me I was supposed to be doing were not working. And I needed to be successful because I had dwindling funds and I had moved my family from Dallas to Crested Butte. My wife was saying, is this really going to work, right? How long is it going to take? And so there's a lot of pressure on me, mostly internally, that I put myself through. So that is the reason that I tried a lot of different things until I got the systems that actually work. And I've replicated those, and it shot me to the top. Within less than 3 years, I was in the top 10 in my market. And the fourth year, I was the #1 agent in my market and among the top 1% of all Coldwell Banker agents. And I've been there and able to stay there for over 10 years. So in general, I'm able to achieve over 7% market share in my local market, which most brokerages would die for those results and those numbers. And I'm an independent agent. I don't have a team, and these marketing systems work. I can't wait to show you those in the workshop. I hope this is helpful. Have an awesome day.